AITA for threatening to not get my son and granddaughter Christmas gifts. My 67F husband, 67M, have 3 kids and 7 grandkids. Our youngest son, Merlin, 34M, has 2 kids with his wife. They're twins, 13 years old, 1 boy, Towns, and 1 girl, Emmeline. We see all of our kids and grandkids often and love them very much. Towns is our sporty one. He plays baseball and loves it. He's also the sensitive grandchild. He's not afraid to cry if he's sad. Emmeline is our artist. She's always painting or drawing or knitting. As you may be able to tell, we love to support our grandkids' passions and interests in any way possible. Every year, Christmas breakfast is done at our house. My husband and I love having everyone come over. The grandkids all get gifts at their houses and then come over here. We eat and then they open gifts from us. We also get gifts for our kids and their spouses. On Sunday, we had all of our kids and grandkids over to help decorate for Christmas. After some decorating, we took a break to make dinner. When dinner was ready, Merlin and his wife were joking about how their kids may be on the naughty list. After they got in trouble at school, we asked what happened. Towns got in trouble for selling snacks. Towns has a friend who he met on vacation a few months ago, a boy from Panama. They both love baseball and will send each other gifts or souvenirs and snacks from each kid's country. Towns said that he sold some of the snacks this boy sent him with the boy's permission, which was against school rules. He got 2 days of detention and said what was worse was his coach telling him he's disappointed in him, since he's normally a good kid. Then we asked Emmeline what she did. She didn't answer because she said she was being unfairly bullied for it. Towns then started to look like he was going to hold back tears. We asked him if he needed to talk to someone, and he asked to talk to me. He said that Emmeline had said some racist things to a Hispanic boy, making jokes about his culture and heritage, and how she got suspended for 3 days and that she was getting some pushback. But he thought it was justified. Pushback. I then asked my husband to speak to me. After talking, we asked Merlin to talk to us. We told Merlin we were concerned about Emmeline's behavior, and he said that both kids got in trouble, so we should also be concerned about Towns then. We told him it wasn't the same, and also told him he needed to address Towns's feeling about this. He dismissed us. We then told him if he didn't take these actions that him and Emmeline wouldn't be getting Christmas gifts. He then talked to his wife, and I could see her get uncomfortable. When they got home, he called me to say I was acting immature and overstepping my bounds. He said that he's the parent and that him and his wife get to call the shots in his house, and said we were being petty. AITA. What do you think? Leave your answer in the comments. Personally, I believe the OP is in the right, but I would love to hear your thoughts. Am I the asshole for asking my fiancé to skip this year's Christmas family vacation because our baby is due? Context. I have gone to Florida with his family for the past 5 years for at least part of Christmas. Every other year, I returned before him to spend Christmas Day with my family. This year is the first time in a long time that all the other siblings are able to overlap dates. My fiancé has major FOMO, which is why this is a sensitive subject. His parents have always been weird about keeping their family close. They've never said it outright, but little things suggest they don't consider me completely part of their family, yet since we aren't married. Also, my parents are away overseas dealing with a grandparent emergency. My mom has been kept in the loop, though, and is trying to come back as soon as she can. My fiancé and I, 31M and 31F, are expecting our first baby due December 30th. His family has a vacation home in Florida, and they have gone every year during the holidays for about a month until after New Year. He agreed not to go this year because of the baby, but his family is insisting that he go and come back on the 28th, which is ample time before the baby is due. So he bought a ticket for December 15th, 28th. His reasoning is that his parents really want him there, and his siblings will also be going. This is bothering me a lot more than I thought, because I know pregnancies are unpredictable, especially in the last trimester, and if anything happens leading up to the due date, I need him there. My parents are away until December 26th, and my friends have their families, so I will be completely alone. The other reason, and I guess it's more selfish, is that I will be spending Christmas by myself. It's not the main reason why I'm bothered, but it's a small part of it. He's been spending Christmas every year in Florida since he was 15, and there will be many more trips after the baby is born. I don't know why he has to go this year. Anytime I bring it up, it results in a very uncomfortable fight about my expectations to put me first, rather than his parents. I don't even bring it up anymore. His parents have always been kind to me, but they also don't see any problem. So, I think I'm going crazy? AITA here? Okay, that guy has some issues. Personally, again, the OP is 1000% in the right. Yet again, I do want to know, what do you think? ATA for telling my mother-in-law to mind her own business. My wife, 32F, and I, 33F, have been married for 5 years. We're both from Florida, but moved to another state a year ago. We jointly own a house back in Florida, which we turned into a rental property and rents out to Hubert, a retiree who is in his 80s and is a very good tenant. Hubert has no family or people taking care of him. He can move himself around and live on his own, okay? But is pretty frail. So whenever my wife and I travel back to Florida, which is pretty frequent, we usually check in on him, bring him meals, fix whatever he needs around the house, etc. My mother-in-law has been over to our house in Florida many times when we still lived there. She has been hinting recently that since she is retiring soon, she wants to move into the house and rent from us, which both my wife and I think is a bad idea because Mill is saying she'll pay rent now, but we both know that's not going to stick for long before she started living there rent-free, because we are Millie. MIL has also mentioned to other people in the family that once Hubert isn't renting the house anymore, which won't be very long because of how frail he is, she plans on arranging with my wife and I to move in. Last week, Mill saw Hubert very briefly while we stopped by the house so I can fix something for him. Mill commented in the car ride back that Hubert's looking more frail. It's too dangerous for him to be living on his own, and that I need to prepare for when he moves out if something happens. That comment rubs me the wrong way because I know exactly where she is going with this, so I told her to mind her own business and Hubert can die in the house if he wants to. I am not asking him to move out, and it's really none of her concern. Mill then said, God wouldn't want me speaking to an elder in that manner, and I responded that God wouldn't want her banking on an elderly to die. That made her really mad, and she hasn't talked to me since. My wife is on my side and has spoken up for me to her mother multiple times before in the past, but for this specific situation, we both have pre-discussed and agreed I would take a bit more of the heat and the lead in saying no, we are entertaining MIL wanting Hubert to move out. Was I an asshole for my response? OP isn't the asshole. I think that they are doing good. Hope Hubert's still doing well too. AITA for the douchey text. I sent my best friend's wife's maid of honor. This is the first time I've had drama with my best friend since HS Trenton, both 27M. I've known his wife Chrissy since college, and during their wedding, I met Becca, who was the maid of honor, 28F. Really cool person. She has a 6-year-old who she brings to Trenton Chrissy's when I'm there, so I've gotten to know Becca well. Recently, I broke up with my GF, and I was hanging out more at Trenton's because Chrissy is pregnant, with permission. Chrissy suggested that since I don't have anyone to do things with right now that I should get closer to Becca, because she likes to try new places too. Becca is fun, easy on the eyes, and would provide great company. We made plans to check out a new brewery, and I was clear that it was as friends. We texted back and forth a few times during the week leading up. Saturday comes, and 2 hours before she calls frantically saying her kid was having a meltdown because of her dad's parents and was sick, so she had to cancel. I told her it was all good. The next week, we didn't talk as much, and Chrissy asked if I was going to give the friendship another go. I said maybe. On Monday, Becca called me, apologizing and asked if I wanted to check out the brewery Friday. I said absolutely. Literally 1 hour before she calls me almost in tears, saying babysitter canceled and asked if I'd be okay waiting for another hour. She was going to take her kid to her parents who lived 30 minutes away and then would meet me. I told her I wasn't going to wait around another hour because the whole point of this was to have friends to do things with. I had been bailed on twice, so I was going to go. She offered to have me come to her place and she'd make us a drink on the back deck and we could hang out there for the night till her kid went to bed. I said that wasn't the kind of friendship I was wanting and it just felt like our schedules were not aligning. I wanted a friend who I could do things with consistently. My time is valuable and 2 weekends in a row, I made plans that feel through. I said maybe there was too much baggage here. She apologized and said she wanted to make it up to me. I said there was no reason to do that. We could just be casual friends like before. But if she ever wanted to hang out late night when she has more time, then she had my number. That was the end of it. Well, starting on Monday, Chrissy has been pissed at me. I stopped at their place last night. She had comments for me. I told her my side. And she said I knew Becca had kids and that things would pop up. I said I knew they would, but I don't my time being wasted. While Becca was cute, her lifestyle is not something I'm into, so we could go back to the way things were. Chrissy kept going at me in a way I've never seen before. Me and Trenton gamed last night, and he said she's still mad, but thinks it might just be pregnancy hormones. AITA? All right, those were all the stories I compiled today. If you have another subreddit you want me to read, I would be more than happy to. If you made it to the end, thank you. This was Reddit Readily. Have a good day, night, or evening.